Good morning and welcome. I am Terry McGuire. I'm Secretary of the Board of Trustees, and I'm happy to have everyone here today on this beautiful Sunday morning. We have several announcements and several exciting things going on that are coming up that you need to pay attention to the announcements that come out on Thursday or listen up here. Sorry about the scratchy voice. Next week, June 23rd, the Justice Coordinating Committee meets. We will have an RE Sunday, and I understand that RE has something really special planned. So you may want to make a special point to be here for that. This Tuesday, as usual, we have Taco Tuesday. That's a time of gathering together at 7 p.m. on Zoom. The link is in those announcements that you get on Thursday. If you don't get them, let Brenda know in the office and she'll hook you up. Also, on the 19th, Wednesday, Gathering Around Grief meets here in this Founders Room, which is down the hall, in person at 7 p.m. All right, the most special thing is June 30th, Choir Sunday. You get the whole service done by the choir, hopefully without this voice. There will also be a potluck, so think about what you'd like to bring. Also label your dish and whatever utensil you bring. During and after the potluck, there will be a Teams fair, showcasing and explaining the Teams concept that we're putting into effect. Also, I'm told that Debbie, for the membership aspect of the team, wants to take a picture from the back of the sanctuary. So if anyone doesn't want the back of their head showing, they can move off to the side. And that's it for today. I would like to turn it over to Laura Mulroy, who has a word about the potluck.
Good morning. Actually, George Yenoki and Megan Gallagher and I are all here representing the Green Sanctuary team, the RE Council, and the incoming Board of Trustees to encourage all of you to develop a habit of bringing your own dishes and plates and silverware and help us all reduce the amount of trash we produce every Sunday. Now, if you're like me, you're very lucky and you have a vintage bag made by Debbie Skirto, I'm going to say 10 or 15 years ago. And, okay, well, I know you were behind it though, Debbie. And I have a plate, and I have a coffee mug, and I have my own water bottle, and washable, reusable wooden fork in a washable, reusable silicone bag. Got a few other things in there too, but you get the idea. Oh, and a cloth napkin. So any of these that you can remember to bring, especially next Sunday for brunch church and the following Sunday for the potluck, but every Sunday really for coffee hour, means we're going to have less trash and make our footprint a little bit smaller here at MVUUC. And I'd like to introduce George to tell you about what he's done, because he doesn't have a vintage bag.
A vintage bag?
No, it's not vintage. That's what I mean.
No, on Monday, I went ahead and did a little sewing project, and I created my own bag. I used a tea towel and sewed it up, and, well, I'm going to be bringing it to show everybody next week.
Okay, and during coffee hour today, I'm going to take orders. For a donation, I will bring one of these for you next week. It will have cups, forks, plates, napkins, and a mug. Okay, so if you are interested, be sure you see me and sign up. So thank you.
So cool. No salt and pepper, though. We'll have that here for you. But it's really a great way to reduce our footprint, as Laura was saying. But welcome. Good morning. It is good to be back. I don't want to say it's great to be back from camp. No one ever really says that, do we? It was great to be at camp, and I have a few pictures to show you in just a short while. But first, I want to greet those who are joining us on Zoom. I see a couple beautiful faces. And Vasu, Bruce, and Sally, and a few who have their cameras shut off. But we welcome you all, and anyone who is watching this video after it's recorded. We welcome you. We welcome you. We open our service. Oh, I have a note here in pink letters. Because I was up at camp last week, I hear there was a little bit of birthday singing, but not a full congregational. We have lots of Geminis here in our congregation, so let's do the June birthday singing. Do we have any June babies that here want to raise their? Oh, look at them all. They're all sitting over there. Do you want to move over? They Geminis. Ah, yay. Okay, Jaryus. So let's sing happy birthday, and instead of the names, we'll just say happy birthday, June babies, okay? Beautiful. We begin our service each week with the ringing of the bell. We ring it three times, honoring yesterday, celebrating today, and awaiting tomorrow. And I'd like to invite my husband, George, to please come and light our chalice for us. Our time together in worship is intimately connected with our daily lives. And as a symbol of that connection, we light our chalice with a flame that reflects the light of our Unitarian Universalist faith. I invite all of you to hear these words of Reverend Amy Bowden Freeman in this chalice lighting that she's written, entitled Motherless Child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child, but here, may you find a warm greeting, a kind word, and a gentle touch. Sometimes I feel like I have no friend, but here, may you find a community of support and a pulse of liberation and a vision of hope. Sometimes I feel I am almost gone, but here, may you find a song to sing, a moment of silence, and a hand to hold. Even when you are a long way from home, may these walls give you shelter, and may this community hold your loneliness, and may you feel the embrace of a larger spirit of life and of love. Come, let us worship together. I invite you to stand as we sing our anthem, Spirit of Life. We'll sing it once in English and then in Spanish, and it will be followed, so please remain standing, and we will read our congregational covenant together. We'll put the words up for our covenant, but they're also printed in your order of service. We affirm that love is the greatest purpose of this congregation. The search for truth is our constant star, and service is our prayer. We pledge our hearts, minds, and hands to challenge injustice with courage, to make choices for a healthier planet, and to live out our Unitarian, Universalist values every day as a beloved community. Thus do we covenant with each other and with all that is sacred in life. Please be seated. There is one announcement that I want to point out. This was in the Thursday Community Connections, but we scheduled a congregation conversation. So soon after the close of the service, we'll have a little break and then gather again. For anyone who's curious or wanting to talk more about the week ahead, what is planned during General Assembly, and for the vote that is coming, that may potentially change Article 2 of the UUA bylaws that does not contain the 7 principles, okay? So we've been talking about this for quite a while, and hopefully you've all been gathering your thoughts and feelings on it, but we have our 2 delegates that will be here. Julie Steinbach will be coming, and Laura. Mulroy, who's also serving as a delegate during GA. So if you want, plan to grab your coffee and whatever snacks and come back for a congregation conversation. Thank you. But now it's time for our wisdom tale, told by Robert Tidwell, our DLRE.
Good morning, everybody. So this week, Maggie said, can you find a story that's about the summer solstice? And also there's going to be a full moon, so if it could be about the full moon, that'd be great too. And I looked, and she mentioned that this only happens once every 20 years, where the full moon is on the solstice. And I looked, and I could not find any stories that combine both of those elements. So today we're going to do something a little different, and I'm going to read you a story that I wrote. I did use ChatGPT to help me make it rhyme, because I'm not very good with my rhymes. But it is a hot and sunny day in June. A little girl named Maggie plays at noon. Her curiosity and excitement never fade. In her backyard, adventures are made. To her parents, it's a nice, safe space with a small garden and plenty of grace. But to Maggie, it's an enchanted land, a fairy world where dreams are grand. She spends her day with endless delight, playing outside from morning till night. And as time flies fast and dinner is near, Mom and Dad's call, soon she will hear. The smell of food drifts from the kitchen, time to go in, though she keeps wishing. Bright flowers bloom and the gardens glow as the sun warms her skin just so. Playing in the sprinkler spray, cold water tickles in a playful way. Birds chirp above, the old dog snores, Maggie's heart in wonder soars. Today is the best day ever, said Maggie with a grin. I wish it would never end, as the sun began to dim. Mom and Dad hear her wish and decide a surprise. They set up a tent outside where she can reside. While Maggie cleans up after dinner, full and fed, she announces, I'm ready, but I don't want to go to bed. They lead her to the backyard where her eyes grow wide. Maggie's elated, her joy she can't hide. In the yard, Maggie plays with glee. On the swing, though hot, she swings free. Sipping lemonade, tart and sweet, refreshing escape from summer's heat. Petting the kitty, it purrs so nice. Dragonflies buzz like jewels in flight. As the sun sets low, day slips away. In her PJs, Maggie wants to stay. Into her tent, reluctantly she creeps. The sky's still light, she yawns and peeps. Thinking of tomorrow's bike ride so grand. No more training wheels, she'll travel the land. But the sun's bright glare keeps her awake. Yawning deeply, she hopes for night's sake. In her tent, she wishes strong for the night to come, and please don't wait too long. Awestruck, she sees the sun's soft glow. As it sets, the moon rises slow. Maggie smiles, her wish came true. Under the moonlight, her garden anew. Before sleep takes her, Maggie savors the last s'more. Marshmallow and chocolate, her taste buds adore. The scent of burnt wood from the fire pit's glow, warm and cozy in the evening soft glow. Creaking swing chains in the gentle breeze, she unzips her tent, her curiosity at ease. Surprised to find the dark of the night, her garden still blooms, a beautiful sight. Crickets chirp, cicadas click, and owl calls. Nature's symphony, night's magical thralls. Fireflies dance and light up the air. A smelly skunk stench fills the air. On a distant pole, a raccoon makes its way. Paths in the stars, Maggie traces with play. Under the full moon's glow so bright, she wraps in her blankie, a cozy delight. Maggie closes her eyes in her tent snug and tight, drifting off to sleep in the gentle night's light. Morning breaks. Day returns to her land. Mom's sun tea, Dad's pancakes, both so grand. Pets play happily, toys strewn around. Maggie smiles, balance of night and day found. Grateful for magic, both dark and light. In her world, a constant, wondrous sight. With dreams of stars and nights so fair, Maggie knows magic is always in the air. And now, I think we have a very small contingent of kids today because it's Father's Day, but you can sing us out to class.
That was fun. Who knew that AI could come to church? But yes, it did. It did. Thank you, Robert. Have a great class. One of this community's actions toward greater generosity is to share our offering plate 50-50 with a local charity that aligns with our principles and our values, that is pre-selected by the justice team and then approved by the board. For the month of June, we dedicate our Share the Plate to our own Camp de Benneville Pines, a UU Learning Center. It has a new name. Did you know that? It's on their website. I was so happy to see that. Camp de Benneville Pines, a UU Learning Center. I think that's fabulous. Anyway, you can learn about them and read about our camp at uucamp.org. But because pictures speak louder than words, I have some to share. Jaryus, if you could. There we are. We actually shared quite a few meals last weekend. It was really great to have our little community up there. There's a few other pictures too. Mary and Lynn Maria. They hosted and that's me during the service that we had on Sunday morning. It was pretty great. And Steve and Shirley worked together to make the sound system like Carnegie Hall. It was so incredibly wonderful to be able to just speak. You know, it sounded as good as it sounds here. So thank you, Steve. Thank you so much for all you did. But we're grateful to have had that opportunity to be at camp together, and we have the same weekend next year. So the first weekend in June is reserved for Monte Vista and Pacific Unitarian Church. We had a really great time with those folks. We're making good friendships, strong connections with those people in that congregation. But we're also very grateful to be here in this place where we know we belong, no matter where we've been in the world. Welcome home, Paula. Yeah. And digging into our shared work and activating the change that is needed in our shared community, and also at our beloved Camp de Benneville, and in the world. And it is with a very deep gratitude for the many gifts that each of you hold that this community gathers its offering as part of its Sunday worship, and it will now be graciously and gratefully given and received. Please come forward. Thank you, Rowan. So beautiful. I love watching your fingers. They're just magical. Sharing the things we're struggling with in our lives, and also the things that are making us smile and making our heart leap, is a part of what community does together, and it's an important part of our Sunday worship each week. I have nothing but joy for you this week. One that came through an unusual source is a crossed messenger, if anybody uses that to communicate with friends. But Joseph Green and I were talking yesterday that he was going to be up in Santa Cruz because Brianna graduated this weekend from UC Santa Cruz with a Bachelor of Science degree in human biology. So yay, Brianna. She's on her way toward that MD, and she will get there. She will. Yeah, go slugs, right? Yeah. Yep. Also, a good one here from Alan and Letha. Alan writes, yesterday Letha and I got to meet for the first time their great-grandson, Ezra. Wow. We were obviously more excited than he was since he slept through most of the visit. He is 2 months old already. Wow, beautiful. I'm glad you got to see him. I hope you snuggled him to the max. And joy from Ellen, Reverend Ellen Livingston. She says, oh, it's a joy to see Paula back. Yes, it is. Welcome home. Welcome home. She also arranged for the UU Church in Chicago, where Luke's Reverend Ellen's son, Luke, had his memorial. They had his memorial service there, and Paula arranged for the church. Thank you for helping and doing that. Beautiful. Beautiful. And there are probably sorrows. We often have announcements that are made to keep people up on what is happening with us, and there are things that we just don't want to share. They're private. We carry them in our hearts, and some of us know some things about someone else, but you don't talk about that. In this community, we let people tell their own story. But if you are carrying something in your heart that you would like to just light a candle for, I invite you to come forward to our candle bowl, is what I'll call it. I will light the center candle from the chalice, and then you're welcome to come and light a candle for your own private intentions. Thank you. And thank you, Jaryus, for the beautiful image for our folks that are joining us in the Zoom sanctuary, as we like to call it. But now I invite you to join me in our time of prayer and meditation. It will be followed by a few moments of shared silence. But as you are most comfortable and most at ease, let's begin by settling into our seats and sitting comfortably. Maybe let our hands rest comfortably in our laps and allow our eyes to just float closed as we turn our attention toward our breath, not forcing it at all or trying to sync it with others, but just noticing. Just notice your breath. We sense our hands as they rest from their constant service to us, and we just notice them and thank them. Are they tingling? Can we feel the energy of life in our palms? We are grateful for these sensations and for the life force that flows through us, it creates them. And we come together in this sacred space that we have shaped to be just so, made holy by our very presence and our passion to be of service to our faith and to one another. It is a big deal to have come to life here on earth at all, but to be here at this time and to be fully alive now. We stand here together, connected, in awe of creation, which is likewise reflecting back all of our shared awe for one another. We cling to what we know as our purpose and calling, consenting to our mission of being human. And we are engaged with becoming and belonging, crying, caring, learning, quitting, swearing, eating, hurting, limping, strengthening, singing, praying, changing, planting, growing, hating, trying, stretching, loving. It is a brave and colossal undertaking for the soul to be dedicated to this excursion within the weight of form. This experience, this exquisite agony, did we consent to this at some level? These open hearts that feel so deeply. We may have an inkling that the great and massive vessel that holds all of our shared consciousness is readying itself for a grand voyage. And we long to set sail into the sea of truth, the sea of reality, where every living being is honored and welcomed, and all are loved, and all are fed, and all are cared for, exactly as they are, filled with sacred worth, simply because they agreed to be here and they're doing all they can to bring forward life itself. And life is very proud of us all. And let's remain seated as we share our gentle song. It's in our gray hymnal, number 100, but we'll have the lyrics on the screen as well. It's "I've Got Peace Like a River." Thank you. Our reading today will be shared by Litha, or Litha, Comstock, whose birthday is the 22nd of June during the time of the pagan festival of Litha. So we think there was something going on when she was being named. It's titled "The Solstice Has a Magic Feel," and it's inspired by Natalie K. Pierce. Litha, or Litha.
The soul has a mighty feel. We sense the energy that springtime is over, and we now witness the amount of transition as each day's time in the sunlight grows shorter in the northern hemisphere and longer in the hands of the lands south of the equator. Can we feel the magic as the earth turns from the increasing light through the increasing dark. This pause of days is a time to reflect and give thanks for the beauty and abundance of nature that all our Mother Earth provides, guided by her intuition and the elements of earth, air, fire, water. It is time of learning to trust the universe, for everything is connected. And when we are feeling that deeper connection, knowing we are a tiny but essential part in the energy it brings to us into alignment, similar to the way the earth aligns with the sun as she pivots on her axis. And so, blessed are those who dance in the sun, a time to breathe deeply, awaken completely. Light stands strong in the witching hour, a place where time takes not our power. Take the reins of directional cue and balance darkness on tilted hue. Spring's adolescence is fully maturing. Summer is welcomed with warmth so curing. Bountiful, plentiful, so much fluorescence, strengthening and dancing of the soul's essence. O Mother Earth, thank you for this light you now instill upon the night. Thank you for the ways we abundantly grow, honoring your beauty, your energetic flow. Our souls will dance with you tonight in celebration and awe of your power and might. The magic of solstice overpowers all strife. We thank you for your gift of life. Blessed be.
So perfect, so perfect. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thanks for the earworm. We'll be singing that all week long, right? Right? Catch up here. The middle of June is just filled to overflowing with incredible events that touch the lives of every one of us in unique ways. Besides the birthdays of so many of our own Geminis, and even an unnamed former president who became 78 on Friday of last week, we have Flag Day, we have Father's Day today, we have Juneteenth coming up. We have the summer solstice that arrives just before 2 p.m. on Thursday. And this year, as Robert mentioned, it's combined with the full moon for the first time since it's 1948. It did happen in the 60s, but they weren't as close as they are this year, over 50 years ago. So pretty great, special day. But we each have our own ways to engage with the cultural and celestial events that are on our calendars. But no matter how deeply we choose to partake in the magic of these days, there is no denying the metaphors that are there to be squeezed out from the ways that Earth's orbit around the sun brings us the brightest days of the year at the same time that the full moon's orbit around the Earth says to us, oh, you need more light. Here, let me help you as I shine as much light as I can toward you all night long and maybe keep you awake. But our hearts can leap with gratitude that the universe hears our cries. It has been our shared hope for many moons that we could all catch a break from stressful events, that a much kinder ethic would prevail among people, and that every single life on Earth could experience a shift from just so much darkness toward an opening that the light of hope could come into the world. We hope for a light that shines for everyone all at once. We hope for brighter moments for all, and we hope for better days. So let's look at the hope we're holding and also losing at times. Maybe similar to the ways we lose our car keys. I had them a minute ago. Who can I blame for taking them? I had hope a minute ago. Who can I blame that it's gone? We always had so much hope. A few years back, it seems. But Where the heck did my hope go? Are our brighter moments a fond memory? And our better days something that we insist are behind us? Or, can we see new ones opening on the path just ahead of us? Is our hope something we wait to land on us like a ferry from some imaginal land? Or is hope a vessel, a cauldron for the pagans among us that we use to create the light we see so much need for at this time? Maybe your hope is a bit of both. Mine is. And it's certainly a valiant goal to create hope and light for this world that needs so much healing. We see it, we know it. But we have to be true in our visions of who we are and all that we're carrying. It's important that we have a clear assessment of what we can take on and what we must say no to. And we must never, ever minimize the importance of the work that we each choose to do on our own personal paths of spiritual growth. Always be working on that yourself. It's important that we save space in our lives for that self-care. And it's also important that we always stay brave enough to hear the truth in ourselves when we look inside and make spiritual assessments on ourselves. Are we insisting that we need more hope and brighter moments, or are we doing our best to create our own version of hope and creating those moments in our lives with powerful intention? Are we offering to those that we share life with? Or are we sometimes spewing hatred back toward the haters with our fists raised, insisting that the way of thinking is shading our lives and limiting our capacity to create a brighter way through this mess? Or can we honestly wish for awakening and wellness for those who cannot think clearly for themselves, and those with power over so many followers it seems to just wipe out their hard drives and destroy their capacity to say no to fascism and supremacy and oppression? We can't hate them. We have to love them. Love them toward change. Love them toward awakening. Love them toward a better wellness for them. It is and can be always a huge challenge to sense hope and to keep ourselves engaged and informed. But yet we are called to do just that, to hold the way open for hope to enter so that the soundness in the vision can be restored, and so that a new, healthier way can take root in the muck of this mess we've all made. But that can't happen if we're not willing to do all that we can to look inward and do our own work while we're offering to help turn the world around. So are we stirring anger in the cauldron of our hearts? And oh my, yes, there is so much going on that we certainly could be justifiably angry about. But don't let it become a habit. Don't let it become who you are. Don't let it ruin your heart. But let's find our own best way to become like those who can diffuse it, rather than allow our frustration to blast at one another. Jaryus, do you have that other photo I sent? So is our frustration for the way things are unfolding in the world such a burden in our minds that our daily life is affecting our moods and maybe changing our personalities? Are we finding ourselves reacting in anger and creating the very same hostility and contention that we claim to be against and that we wish to heal? It comes out of me. I hear it. I cringe. George is incredibly patient. He's a good teacher. Or can we stop ourselves and count to 10 like Lucy suggests? Or maybe not like she suggests. But to stop, just stop in the middle of a fight, just stop. And it doesn't have to be a fight. It can just be an uncomfortable conversation. And make a conscious decision to be free of hard to control emotions. And instead of pushing back against hope and letting our rage go against those who anger us, let's decide to respond differently and maybe shock people. Maybe ask those we disagree with for help, for how to reach toward a new way that is nourished with and flooded with the light of brighter moments and better days, the ones we're reaching for today. We can allow ourselves to feel that they are reaching back with help that's provided for each and every one of us who's struggling just the same way we are at this time. And they're always, 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 it's always available. But we can't always stop ourselves when we're on a roll and we're blowing all of our gaskets about a certain topic that has us by our heart. And as I've said, heaven knows I can't always. But I've been trying. And I'll try with more intention if you promise to try with me. Because that is where our hope resides. And that is how we can use our brighter moments to create better days. And the knowing of our higher selves, maybe our highest selves, and the power we have to change and create that we have available to us always. Let's listen to author Barbara Kingsolver, who writes about what is possible in this situation. It comes from her book, Animal Dreams. The very least you can do in your life is to figure out what you hope for. And the most you can do is live inside of that hope. Not admire it from a distance, but live right in it, under its roof. What I hope for is so simple I almost can't say it. But elementary kindness. Enough to eat, enough to go around. The possibility that our kids might one day grow up to be neither destroyers or destroyed. That's about it. But right now, I'm living in that hope and running down its hallway and touching the walls on both sides. So let's put that on our to-do list for this week, and especially Thursday, as you can feel the sun stop and turn as we go from spring to summer. We can stockpile our supply of awe and wonder on this brightest day of the year that's accompanied this year by the fullest light of the moon. But let's be imagining together that we all can run down the hallways of heaven and make all kinds of ruckus and touch the walls as we go and gather up all of the bright energies that we need for our journey into the summertime just ahead. It's going to be hot and filled with smoke. There's already 2 fires burning close by. We'll store up the brightness of these moments in our hope to create better days that are full to overflowing with the best kinds of hope. Hope we've found, hope we hold, hope that we've raised, hope we offer, hope we feel, hope we see, hope that we can almost taste, hope that is both a noun and a verb, hope that we scatter as we walk through our days, hope that widens the way through all that there is left to do, and hope that will transform us after all of these storms we've been through and all of those that we still have ahead of us. Hope that will help us to become beings who shine light in the darkness of the world, rather than screaming at one another for all we did to make the mess. But hope that will, without a doubt, transform us so that we can be known as the people who offer the hope this world needs right now. And as we allow that image to soak in just a bit and let it bless how we see ourselves, let's lend our hearts to hear the words of author Haruki, forgive me, I'm trying to pronounce it correctly, Haruki Murakami, from our centering thought that's in your order of service. You can read along if you wish. But once this storm is over, you won't remember how you made it through, how you managed to survive. You won't even be sure whether the storm is really over. But one thing is certain. When you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person who walked in. But that's what the storm is all about. So what shall we ask of this storm we're in? Because we do have a say. We get to choose. We can choose to have hope and make hope. So may the brighter moments and the better days of the week ahead give each of us the hope that we long for and a clear vision of all that we can be together. Blessed be. Let's stand and sing together with all this universal awe that's up there. We're going to sing Touch the Earth and Reach the Sky. It's number 301 in our hymnal, but the lyrics will be on the board. Touch the earth, reach the sky. And let's read our unison benediction together as we wish each other well. And for those that are going to be staying for the conversation, I ask you to only take a short break and then come right back. But as we close our time together and extinguish our chalice flame, may we let its light shine through us to strengthen us for the way ahead. May our lives serve as a light in this world that we care so much about. Now let's be seated and enjoy Lily's postlude.